What's up, everyone? This is Press X Start Podcast, Season 5, Episode 35. Press X Start Podcast is an audio and video podcast seeking to transform the video game media landscape through an undeserved and... Oh, Jesus. I got a lot of spit in my mouth, and that just kind of caught up with me.
Oh,
Give me a second, guys. I'm almost there. There we go. Through an underserved and protected point of view, restore justice for the underrepresented programmers, developers, and consumers. Take a breath. Your host today is me, aka DJ, aka Sexy Bad Choices, aka Daddy Longlegs. Yeah. AKA did you wait? Never mind. Who else is here?
Oh, okay.
I'm Sean MF Ross.
What the MF stand for?
I'm old enough to remember when they charged by the hour for internet.
Oh Lord.
I mean, you're not
Wow,
that much older than me, so I mean, I should also
All right,
remember that.
let me roll that back. I'm old enough to remember when AOL used to mail out diskettes for free hours.
Ooh,
We're also old enough.
What's the game? We all.
I remember that.
I used to get
I think
excited when it was like AOL 1.0, 2.0, 3.0. Nothing fucking changed but the theme. But
Yep.
you know.
Oh my gosh. Oh man.
Hey. I remember getting my ass whooped real quick one time because AOL called the house and told my mother I was looking at porn. Like, what the fuck is this?
Oh, they ratted on you?
They snitched on you.
Outside cutting grass. My mother's like, I don't pay for fucking internet for you to be. Like, all right.
Yo, I remember one day I put a towel over the computer to kind of muffle the internet connecting sounds at night.
This man.
You're a special man, DJ.
Hey,
you're
it worked, though.
deviant.
It's called intelligence.
Well,
Anyway.
I am your heavyweight champion, formerly hailing from Beltsville, Maryland, now hailing officially from Wishnigwood, California, aka the gender because of the watch niggas, aka hold up. Let's get this shit. Let's get this shit. Top of the morning. Marcus Ellison.
Have you had to rep your set yet?
Not yet. I'll let you know in a couple of weeks. I'm going to walk through Inglewood, and we'll see how it goes.
Has someone thrown avocado toast at you yet?
In my mouth.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
I'm
That's how
telling
they do it
you.
over there.
That he's eating it.
Was this on the street or were you at a hibachi avocado place? Like, how does that?
Hibachi avocado, please.
The pop-up restaurant.
Those
It's
are-
experimental. I saw it on Top Chef. It's a new rage into the community. Food is coming back now. The COVID's starting to quote unquote die down. So we're all just trying things new.
You right,
Avocado variant.
Oh
Who
my
else we got?
gosh. And who was that?
I'm
Oh.
Avery.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
I love
That always
that.
catches me off guard. That
Yeah,
always
I
catches
I love
me
that.
off
I love that plain intro.
Yep.
right.
Yeah.
That's how
Toast
Avery
with,
stands
Oh
out.
my gosh.
You guys
Toasted
just
country spread butter.
everybody that is just listening to this, you missed Avery hit a mean dab like it was 2012.
Speaking of which, you need to be watching this instead of listening to this. Or you could do both. Actually, you should be doing both because we need your support. So we go ahead and just thank you in advance.
Or you can
with
just
that being
watch
said-
and not listen. But go ahead.
I mean, but Marcus puts all the good work and put all the cool memes in the audio.
Watch with the volume down. Go ahead. Hey, are we handicap accessible? We got subtitles. We got
I mean, I believe
yeah.
YouTube can auto-generate subtitles.
Will they be
We
good
are-
subtitles? The world may never know.
I have a list.
I mean-
so no.
We all talk great English.
Oh Lord.
YouTube's like, we don't understand black.
they're all
I
so
don't-
well spoken.
I don't speak your jigaboo jargon.
Oh God. Oh no.
Anyway.
With that being said, and our jigaboo jargon being in check, now it's time for us to talk to you or tell you about the highlights for this episode. We are going to be talking about our impressions on Deathloop, Life is Strange, and the COD Vanguard Beta. We'll be also talking about Quantum Dream working on a new Star Wars game. There was also a thing where WoW, World of Warcraft, is now covering breast for the cause.
They out here reducing titty.
Kinda. Reducing. Yeah, there's a thing. And then last up, we'll be talking about God of War Ragnarok wrapping up its North Mythos storyline and what could happen next. With that being said, here's some housekeeping. It's actually just one thing. Ask us a question. Go to pressx2stars.com/questions and ask us a question. Is that questions with an S or just single?
I don't know. You made the link, bro.
Yeah, I did. I
You
definitely
should have made
did. I
it press
definitely
S to ask, but you know,
Press
I
X
wasn't
to
there
I
for the-
ass.
I can still do that. I mean,
I wasn't
I'm
there for the naming
capable.
convention. He ain't consult nobody.
Oh yeah, it is. It's questions with an S at the end. So yes, press X #2start.com/questions and
All
ask
right.
us what's on your mind, and we may answer it on the cast. So you should do that. All right. With that being said, we could talk about the first thing, which is what we have been playing. So first up, let's talk about Deathloop. Avery, you've been playing Deathloop as well as I. So Avery, you are completed it. Did you get the platinum yet or no?
I'm working on it. Deathloop's
Okay.
platinum trophy is achievable, but it takes a lot of finesse. All good.
Okay. Cool. So what was your so in terms of us doing a review on this, kind of up in the air because right now it's just me and Avery that's been playing it. Sean, I think you're gonna get it later on.
Maybe if it comes on sale, unless one of y'all got
Right.
a physical, let me buy it.
Yeah, I don't got physical. I'm sorry. You know me. Anyways, Avery, so give us your impressions on the game.
I am a big fan of Arcane games. I've liked every one they put out, even though people don't buy them. I've always been singing to the rooftops that they make really great games. People just need to give them a chance. Deathloop is the crystallization of everything they've ever worked on when it comes to game design. And as a mechanical exploration of the systems and themes and gameplay decisions that they've worked on, it is near perfection. It's like it is a game that when it started getting those 10 out of 10s, those high marks, I'm like, I totally understand what people are thinking about when they give it those numbers. I wouldn't give it those numbers. I have some issues with the game's narrative. I think the game fundamentally doesn't fall apart, but spends too much. Wow, I forgot the word. I said it succinctly before. Wears out its welcome towards the end of the game in regards to playing it, and I think there are some minor technical issues I had on it with PS5 that I can't tell or design choices or just really bad things that should have been looked at early on. But otherwise, I love Deathloop. It is definitely in one of my top 5 games of this year.
Ooh. Interesting.
Okay.
I can say more, but I just wanted to.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Keep it.
So I have not beaten the game yet, of course. Other games I've been playing. But yeah, I've played the first 2 stages, I think. I think it's 2. I don't know. Anyways, I put some time into the game. I am really enjoying the game. I am loving the banter between Colt and Juliana. Is it Juliana?
It's
Juliana, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And like I'm excited to see what the twist is or what the catch is, like in terms of the narrative and the story. Yeah, the thing is, like, I haven't been spoiled on it. Like, I don't know anything other than just what I am discovering while playing the game. In terms of the controls and the combat, I was very much so when I started. I was like, all right, I'm gonna stealth this out. I'm gonna like try to peek around the corners and like really hit headshots and try not to be detected. And I think I did that for about halfway through the first stage. And then I was like, I don't think I actually need to do this. And then the second
You
stage, I was
took
just like, yeah, I'm
your
just,
Last of Us 2 approach.
yeah,
Yep.
dude.
Just jumped out of the bushes and said,
I'm
Come here, Ken
here.
Burns.
"Witness me."
Come at me.
To this game's combat, I think this is the most actiony that they've ever made a game. In regards where like In Dishonored, you get into a firefight, you're gonna get punished. Like 100%. You don't have the guns to fight that.
Yeah.
Prey,
Yeah.
the enemies are usually so fucking overpowered in Prey that like getting into a firefight with them is kind of like you're going to have a bad time. This is a
Right.
game where fundamentally, unless you're trolling, if you get into a firefight, there's always something you can do to survive, fight back, play smart. There's
Right.
more back and forth. The game is 100% punishing them. Like
Yeah.
What were the main characters in the other two games, though?
In Dishonored, you played as Corvo and his daughter. They're very stealth focused characters.
Focus.
And Prey, you're playing as a scientist, Morgan Yu. Combat isn't necessarily your forte. In Deathloop, you are in the game advertises you as an assassin, and then in one of its trailers spoils that you're a security chief. So you clearly have the chutzpah to get into a gunfight. But in regards to getting into like a 1v1 fight, in a 1v1 fight in those other games, shit could go wrong. You could probably die. In a 1v1 fight in Deathloop, more often than not, you'll come out of it. It's when the game, because enemies aren't really that strong. They're really not that smart.
Regular ass people.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The threat in combat comes when the Juliana character shows up, or you piss off one of the main targets you're trying to fight. You don't get the clean stealth kill, and you have to get into a protracted fight with someone with superpowers. And certain characters, that's really difficult.
Yeah, I haven't gotten that far yet. So like, I've only died one time, and that death was because I was kind of playing it more as a Call of Duty game, where I ran into a room, I tagged all the people that I thought was in the room, and I was stealthing them off just to like get them in a more concentrated group. And I missed a shot that kind of alerted somebody, and then everything went loud. And I died because when I was engaging with one of the enemies, I forgot that there's no radar. So I went to look up at where a radar would normally be, and there was nothing there. And I was like, "Oh crap!" And at the same time, like someone shotgunned me or something, and I wasn't even like looking at my health or anything like that. So I just got kind of caught off guard. And then after that, I was like, all right, I gotta realize that I'm not necessarily like, you have a health bar, you can see your health. I don't necessarily like the fact that I feel like in most first-person games that I've played, they've done a good job of indicating how much health you have, or like indicating that, oh, you've taken damage. Where I didn't necessarily get those cues from this game. So it was one of those things where I just had to keep on looking at my health bar to make sure like I'm not dead yet. So that was something that I just had to adjust to. And like overall, I'm having a good time playing the game. Because I haven't gotten too far, I haven't gotten any of the like more elaborate exotic guns yet. So far you can equip up to 3 weapons. I have a nail gun that I use for stealth kills. I have a shotgun that's like a double shotgun. And then I'm using the raptor,
which is their rapier. Like the sword.
Yeah.
It's their rifle. It's not really a sniper rifle, but it's their rifle weapon.
Right. And it doesn't have any sights or anything. So all the guns that I mentioned are using iron sights, which is another interesting thing. But I'm giving it the benefit of that because I'm not far enough, I'm not getting the guns that have sights and stuff on it. So
I will say this: that there's only one type of gun that has sights on it, and it's a legendary weapon.
Ew.
All right. Well then, that's that.
I don't like iron sights.
What'd you say?
I don't like iron sights. I don't know if I'm gonna get this game.
Well, I will say this: I crutched on the rapier early on in the game because I really liked its iron sights and its ability to down an enemy in one shot for the most part is actually really useful if you're just trying to pick off a character from range. I think I will say this: the guns that do have scopes, I think the rapier outperforms them in regards to just being a useful weapon in a firefight.
Yeah.
Because those guns that have scopes, you have to zoom in. There's no option to iron sight it on a close range fight, so you have to hit fire, and then that is if you put the right modifications on that gun for hit fire to be useful.
Right, and I will say that this game respects the idea that headshots are king. So if you can land a headshot, you're good. It doesn't really matter what gun you have. At least for as far as I am right now. I don't know if the NPCs change when you
No,
go.
this is a game where fundamentally, outside of like them getting better weapons and like having slightly very like enemy AI, there's not like there's not like different tiers of NPCs. You're not going to see like heavies or quick runners or like spears or some bullshit like this. Like fundamentally, outside of the visionaries, and that's because they have superpowers, every enemy functions the exact same way.
Awesome.
So fundamentally, you can kill every enemy in 2 hits with a knife, or you can one-shot enemy from behind.
Yeah. And the last thing I will say about this game is the only thing that I've kind of had to really, really adjust to in terms of combat is the meleeing, for the fact that melee is attached to R1. You press R1 to switch to your knife, and you press R1 again to actually swipe with your knife. So there was a couple times where I would be in a firefight. I get up to close to the person. I press R1 thinking I'm going to melee the person, and then I go back to pressing R2. So what happens, I switch to the melee weapon, then I switch back to my gun, and then I fire the gun, and by the time like I've taken more damage than I wanted, it's like, oh fuck, that's right, I gotta press R1 twice. So yeah. Other than that, it's been a really good game. It's been really entertaining, and I've been caught up in the aspects of wanting to go back and play that game, which is very good because right now my time is spent between like Genshin and Gundam. So for the fact that this game is actually pulling me to go play it, it's just like, okay, I respect it. But yeah, that's our impressions of Deathloop. We will figure out what we're going to do in terms of a formal review. But next up, we have Life is Strange, and that is by Marcus, and Avery's been playing that game. So you guys, what you been thinking about that game?
Avery, you want to go first, or?
Yeah, I'm a big Life is Strange fan. In the War versus Telltale games and Life is Strange games, I've always felt that the Life is Strange games were better games than the Telltale ones. I think the Telltale ones got away with a lot because of the license. And Life is Strange games were able to tell fundamentally interesting and frankly poignant stories without any of that. True Colors, I was super excited to play that. I'm 1 chapter in, and as far as I can tell, this is just another really good Life is Strange game. Like, this is the best looking game they've ever had. Like,
easily.
Like the characters, they always went for a realistic art style with a little sort of like a tinge of like cartooniness to it. But this is a fundamental one where you look at the characters and they still got the cartoony look, but they all look like real people, and it really sells the character emotions and the storytelling they play off of that one.
I will say I can't for the life of me, and I am just starting the 3rd chapter. I can't for the life of me tell how old Alex is supposed to be. I thought she was a teenager, and then she definitely had a drink at a bar, and I'm like, okay, so she's at least 21, but I still can't call it.
Well, what state are they in?
Colorado.
Maybe she's 16.
I had the exact same thought. Like in the original Life is Strange, like Max was definitely a 14, 15-year-old girl. That was like something that was easily identifiable. And then with Alex, the game starts off and she was in foster care. So like, she must be like 18 years old at least. And then like going through some of the ancillary information, like one of her love interests is a 24-year-old man. And because you know that because everyone's talking about his birthday in the things, like, okay, this is an interesting dynamic. He has to be older than this,
right? And
you
also
better be older than this.
That 24-year-old man looks like he's 32. So it's just anyway.
Not my daughter.
Funnily enough,
things I can say now.
Funnily enough, I am the exact opposite of Avery in terms of the war between Telltale and Life is Strange, where I appreciated Life is Strange from afar, but it was too poorly acted for me to be interested in. I thought that the voice acting in the first Life is Strange was verging on bad. And then the second one, it was better, but it still had this weird awkwardness to it that I couldn't really sink my teeth into. Whereas with Telltale, I always felt like they were really well acted games that allowed me to get through.
I wonder if that's what
And
turned me
because
off because I tried the first episode of Life is Strange and I got as far as like the bathroom and turned it off.
Right. I'll say that I will agree with Avery where the Life is Strange games are probably more fully realized in terms of like your choices really mattering. Whereas Telltale, that was always a thing where it's like, yeah, you're giving me choices, but how much do they really matter? So I've always been interested in possibly doing a Life is Strange, but I never did until this one because it looked like it was really promising. And just based off of, because I've watched Life is Strange games on YouTube, this is definitely the best one that they've had so far. Obviously, I haven't beat the game, but so far it feels like they've learned a lot over the last 2 entries,
Well,
or
this is also a
I
different
think
team.
3. Oh, it's a different team.
Yeah, Dontnod did Life is Strange 1 and 2, and then
Right.
Deck 9 did the spin-off of Life is Strange Beyond the Storm, and then they did
Right.
3.
Oh, okay. Well, then that makes even more sense. Well, yeah, then different team, and they were able to add a lot more life to it. The voice acting in this, there's moments where it feels a little stilted, but this is definitely the most naturalistic and like I feel like I'm actually watching humans interact, which is nice. And the hook here with Alex and her powers being that she's basically an empath, like she can feel people's emotions, so she can tell when somebody's feeling something, and the closer she gets to that person, the more she feels what they're feeling. And if the emotion is intense enough, she can tap into that emotion and figure out what it is that's triggered them, why they are in this emotional state, and then if she chooses, how she can help them through it. And it's been really, really interesting so far watching or playing through some of these scenarios. One of which is caught me off guard with how poignant it was. I don't want to spoil anything for Avery, but
So you're talking about something that happened in chapter 2?
yeah, chapter 2.
Okay. All right.
Where I'll get into it obviously more when we can talk more at length about it. But there was something that happened in the game that was one of the most poignant things I've seen in a game at the very least this year. And I was very impressed with it. And I'm really looking forward to seeing where they go with this because I'm fully invested now. The first chapter, I was like, okay, this is cool. But the second chapter was when I was really kind of like drawn into the story and progressing it. So I'm definitely looking forward to getting through these 5 chapters.
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds cool.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we can talk about. Oh, I'm scrolling. Oh, it's me, Call of Duty Vanguard. So, Call of Duty Vanguard just released a beta it's an open beta for this week. I literally was listening to an IGN UK podcast, and they were talking about it, and I was like, "Oh, cool! Check this out." So while I was playing Deathloop, I downloaded the beta, jumped on the beta. I played about 3 rounds. The 2 rounds was team deathmatch. Third round was a new mode called Patrol, which is like a capture the point, but the point is always moving. It's one of the things where like, Call of Duty is Call of Duty is Call of Duty. So the first time I jumped in, it was just, all right, let me like shake off the Deathloop controls and let me remember the Call of Duty, mechanics. And by the second game, I was completely back to what Call of Duty is. It's weird because they're doing World War II, and that means you get World War II guns. That means that you get just kind of a hodgepodge of weapons that some of them are fine, others are just horrible, and you should completely stay away from them. And I definitely felt that strain again, and it was just like, I don't know if I'm gonna get the game. I don't know if I'm gonna get the game. But by the third match where I played that patrol mission, that was actually really, really cool. And once I realized what was going on, I was like, oh, this is actually a new experience for Call of Duty, where normally it's like you hold a point and you camp up or you post up you try to
Defend
intercept
the
the people that are trying to take the
Yeah.
point. Yeah, but with the point moving around, and it's not moving around at a like quick pace, but it's moving around in a way where, of course, you can't camp, but it's putting you in vulnerable positions at times. So you have to work well with your team, and you have to, not get caught while you're trying to get these points. And it's Call of Duty, so of course, dying left and right, and I was dying left and right, and it was fun. Like I ended that thinking like, oh, this is kind of cool. Am I gonna get it? I still feel like I'm kind of going back and forth about whether or not I want to get it. I did like what they showed for the campaign. I think that was cool, and I do like Sledgehammer's. I guess their World War II games over Treyarch's. So those are 2 points in that right direction. I think the only thing that's stopping me is figuring out if I'm going to really dedicate the time to that game, because that's November. Something. Kenna is in September. Kenna's next.
Kenna's next week.
Kenna's next week, and then for me, Riders Republic is in October, and then Battlefield is also in November. And I kind of wanted to try Battlefield because I really like the whole tornado thing that they got going on. I just seeing how it delayed, I'm not exactly sure how that's going to work in terms of if it's actually going to play correctly that first month or so when it drops. But yeah, I'm still kind of in the back and forth phase of if I'm going to get the game or not. But I did have a good time playing the beta.
Okay.
Yeah.
So more Call of
Duty. Pretty much.
I'm still getting through Hades. I'm still enjoying it.
Okay.
I got to the final boss twice. Well, at least what I think is the final boss, but he has a second form. So
Hades is the final boss.
Yeah, I ain't want to,
Oh.
spoil it, but yeah.
It's in the name.
I mean,
I know.
his father could have been the final boss.
Yeah.
You could have got betrayed by Zeus. They wanted you to get up there so they could stomp you out. You never know. I'm enjoying it, but I also fall asleep playing it sometimes because it gets kind of
monotonous.
Yeah, grindy.
Okay.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm still having a good time. But my go-to is still Spelunky 2.
Okay.
Either that or Apex, of course.
What weapons are you maining in Hades?
Blah. I like the range weapon. So I like the spear, I like the gun, and what was the other thing? They got a sword.
They got a bow and arrow, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, that's the third thing.
sword,
Yeah, I like the bow and arrow.
Sword, shield,
Okay.
bow and arrow, gun, fists, and
Mhm.
then did I say spear?
Yeah.
You can throw hands in the game?
Yes, you can. But I think they're actually kind of weak. But it just feels feels nice. It feels nice to use them.
The
Though.
gauntlets
Ain't got
are
no
my second,
hands.
The gauntlets are my second favorite weapons in that game.
Really?
Okay. And then once you reach the surface, I think you unlock ice as a boon from Demeter. I don't know how to pronounce her name.
Demeter.
Okay.
But yeah. Are there any other ones that you may unlock, Avery?
No, Demeter is the last one you unlock in regards to boon.
Okay, so yeah, I'm just kind of working through the game. I'm enjoying it. I don't know how long I'm going to be playing it. Maybe I'm just going to beat it just one time, maybe once or twice. But I still love Spelunky. I like platformers.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Spelunky is endlessly replayable just because the story isn't as deep as. It's basically like how people will cut on Mario and anybody will jump on and play the shit, or anybody will
It
play
leans
like
on
Sonic
gameplay
over and over and over.
the narrative.
Yeah. Okay.
And then Marcus, to wrap this up, you've been playing surprise, Overwatch, and another game called DJ's Playroom.
Shut up. So yeah, I mean, it's Overwatch. I play Overwatch. I was finally able to, because my PS5 got here like 2 week. No. Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago. And so I've been able to, reunite with my squad. Annie was very happy about that because we enjoy playing together. So that's all I can really talk about with Overwatch. There's nothing really new to report. And then the reason why Astro's Playroom is on the list is because my roommate came over to me and she was like, I just want to play a video game. And I was like, okay. Let me see if there's something that
isn't too complicated.
Here it is.
Loads up COD Vanguard Beta. Here you go.
And so I kind of just watched her play Astro. She got kind of far. It's pretty good. So I didn't play it, but
right.
but I watched her play it.
Look at you getting people into gaming. Does she know about our podcast, Marcus?
Yes.
Okay.
She listens.
I expect to see at least 1+ view.
Hello, roommate.
I mean, she's been listening.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind then.
Yeah.
Fine then.
Thank you for being
Hello,
our
Marcus's
roommate. Anyway.
Yes. With that being said, we have talked about the games that we have been playing. But before we get into our quick hits, we have a word from our sponsors. It's us.
Sponsor us, nigga.
ASMR.
Have y'all seen that dude doing gun ASMR?
Yes.
People.
That is the most niggerish thing I've ever seen in my life.
Boy.
But also, get that money, black man.
Yeah. He made a way for himself. He was like, "Oh yeah, y'all like this whisper stuff."
I mean, he could either be doing quiet noises with the gun or loud noises with the gun. I mean, hey, make a choice, man. What you want?
Also, I will say that I can see the appeal of the sound of putting a gun together. I guess cleaning a gun. I don't know.
Yeah, I need to go clean my shotgun and just fucking.
I gotta go clean my fork. My stabbing fork.
I got an eating fork and I got a stabbing fork.
Don't get them mixed up though. I'm messing your mouth up.
All right.
Let's. All right. 440. Let me record this. 41. 45. Nope. 39. And we are back. Now, as I said, it's time for the quick hits. Number 1, this comes from IGN. Battlefield 2042 has been delayed until November. Shout out to Jordan because he called it when we were talking about it over Discord. There's not really much to say about that other than good. The alpha apparently wasn't going smoothly, so pushed the game back. Now the only problem is that
what comes out in October now then?
Nothing.
Riders Republic.
Yes.
Man, if you don't.
Hey, that's a game. Game.
I mean, I'm just answering the question.
Out of all the games ever made, Riders Republic is one of
them. Facts. Number 2, this comes from Polygon. PlayStation 5's firmware update lets you install compatible SSD storage. So good. I
got mine.
This was coming. Oh, you got it already?
Yeah, I got a Western Digital SN 850 terabyte, and I haven't really installed anything on it yet. Haven't installed anything on it yet because nothing is out. Nothing has come out with news. So.
To answer Sean's earlier question about what's coming out in October, it's Alan Wake, Far Cry 6, Metroid Dread, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh wow!
And Back 4 Blood.
All right, well, stuff is woof.
Yep.
All right, okay. I'll probably get Far Cry and
I know what I'm playing in October.
It's Touche, Avery.
Yeah,
I think I might be doing that too.
Also, but to
well, actually, Star-Lord featuring the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes, but Guardians of the Galaxy was always the Star Wars thing. I'm not going to get into this. Let's not litigate this. But back to the earlier point about the update. I'm not financially solvent enough to get a new SSD to install on my PS5, so that's not the most interesting thing about this. The most interesting thing about this is the rehaul of how trophies work now for the PS5. One, it's not this vertical bullshit. It's now horizontal, like it's always should have been, and now it has this thing called a trophy tracker, where you can take 5 trophies that you're working on, pin them, and when you bring up the sort of the control
Cards,
menu,
right?
the cards, it will let you it's easy access to those trophies. So now I don't have to go open up the menu, go to my profile, drill into my trophies, now go to that specific game, now actually look at those trophies. It's so good.
What they also did was remove the little icon when you take screenshots and videos, because I take a lot of clips for the content and shit online.
Okay.
They've
And then they
also
also
made
Go
it
ahead.
easier to identify PS4 for PS5 games on your console. right now.
Yeah.
And then they also allowed you to, when you press the home button, you have that little quick bar at the bottom. You
fully
can change
customize
around
it.
those icons.
Yeah, you
you
can fully
know?
customize it now.
Yeah. So yeah, they
Nice.
thank you, Sony, for doing what you should have done when the PS5 launched. Yeah. Okay, number 3.
Hey, all we
This
need
comes
is
from
themes now, so I can apply my Black Lives Matter theme. Go ahead, number 3.
We'll see about that. Number 3. This comes from GameSpot. Quantic Dream's reportedly working on a Star Wars game.
Oh, snap.
This
Anakin?
is
Space
Anakin.
Revolution.
this is
Anakin!
really, really interesting to me. This is one of those things where you have Quantic Dream on the left side, you got Star Wars on the right side. Both of them, I'm like, they're cool. When you put them together and they like blend together and their hands form like into like a little thingy that they like that, like a star amenity, like a sea urchin. It gets really interesting because I'm actually really excited about this news. That's why I
Also,
put it on
TJ,
here.
it wasn't the Game Spot, it was the Game Post.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Who the fuck is the Game Post?
I didn't post this news in our Slack.
Oh, okay.
In our
Yeah,
Discord.
that the Game Post. Look at that. I definitely looked at that and said GameSpot. But yeah, yeah. So this is cool. This is just a rumor, so we don't know if this is actually true or not. I really kind of hope
Dyslexia
this
be
is.
whooping your ass.
No mercy. But yeah, like I'm excited for this. Once of course, when there's actual news, we'll talk about it. But what do you guys think about this news?
I am tentatively interested. David Cage is a non-subtle piece of shit, but
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I have liked 2 of his games, which were Indigo Prophecy, taking it back, and
Oh, wow.
Detroit, even
You
though
didn't like
Detroit had
you
its
didn't like Heavy Rain?
Heavy Rain was Heavy Rain. There was way too many plot holes in that story. Like
Jason.
way too many. And Beyond was
Beyond is
Beyond.
bad. Beyond is bad. Like,
Yeah. But
Beyond is narratively bad.
yeah.
I liked watching the Let's Play.
Jason.
But
I think Quantic Dream makes really good games, and I am not of the mindset that Star Wars makes the most Star Wars is the most interesting property to like build things off of. Like it's not like if you add a Marvel to it, and if you put Marvel in front of a game and it's not like say a Wolverine or a Venom Revolve or Deadpool related product, I'm like instantly this is like crack for me. I'm into it. Star Wars, you put it in front of that, I'm like, I don't really give a shit. That being said, in regard to games that are storytelling focused and multiple choice, Quantic Dream does it the absolute best.
Yep. That's what I was gonna get
Gets me
to.
excited.
Like I was just gonna say that basically Star Wars is in this post Skywalker period where they're exploring sections of that world or galaxy, so to speak, that is way more interesting to me. And hopefully this Quantic Dream game gives them an opportunity to really explore some Star Wars lore in a way that they never really have before. And like Avery said, Quantic Dream for all their faults, does multiple choice, choose your own adventure style games better than everyone else because we were talking earlier with Telltale and Life is Strange, where you with these type of games you want the choices to matter, and Quantic Dream does that really well to the point that I think each of their games except for Beyond, you can finish the game with everyone dead if you make certain choices.
I mean, one of the cool things about Detroit was that it's a game where your protagonists were ultimately antagonistic to each other. So there are whole sequences in that game where they were asking you, play the sequence. Now play this sequence, but beat your last sequence.
Yep.
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's that. We look forward to whatever this becomes. If this becomes something, if it doesn't, we never talked about it. Number 4, this comes from Kotaku. World of Warcraft patch covers breast of in-game woman amid Blizzard's lawsuit. Okay,
We still
I
scared
tried
of
all the side by sides. This is the most asinine thing ever.
So
Continue.
we're still scared of titties in 2021, y'all. Come on.
As spotted by Wowhead, as far as Wowhead user Mitros,
Sure.
Arch Mitros. Yeah, okay. The latest 9.1.5 patch for World of Warcraft updates some in-game painting of women to be less revealing, while others have been removed altogether. A robed woman's image in the Stormwind has been altered to cover more of her breasts, and a scantily clad reclining woman in Ravenholt has met the strange fate of becoming a bowl of fruit.
Yo, listen. These were not that. Yo, Kanye West, A Beautiful Dark Fantasy album cover was more explicit than these paintings to begin with. Half of these shits were low res paintings. I want to know how somebody spotted these. Like, were these in the patch notes, or did someone just like look at these breasts every day and notice something was amiss? All they did was add camisoles on a lot of the women.
Yeah. So the best part about this, and pretty much kind of I think what Sean's alluding to, is that the actual the full title of the Kotaku article is Blizzard reduces titty in World of Warcraft, but not sexism at the company. So it is very much so like this is a half step, but you guys really need
this
to.
ain't even a half
It's not even a half step.
You're right.
Quarter step.
Quarter.
No, it's a tiptoe.
Ain't no half stepping.
Sylvana's Windrunner is still walking around in fucking booty shorts and a fucking crop top. So you're not changing anything.
Oh wow, you're right. Okay. Well
I just love the
even then it's not much
phrase reduced titty.
And even that isn't necessarily a major issue depending on the context of the issue itself. It's the here's the thing. I will keep saying this till the day not till the day I die, until the problem is fixed. Activision Blizzard needs to fix their bullshit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Totally agree.
A lot of it has become swept under the rug because of Call of Duty. Everyone's forgotten about everything about the company because of Call of Duty. And that is kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Hey,
I agree.
Did we already do a news story about them removing their logo from one of the trailers for Call of Duty?
They removed from it's Call of Duty presents Call of Duty. That's what they did because they didn't want to put Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
it's a mess. It's a mess. What's it? Okay, number 5. This comes from Deadline. Twisted Metal live action series sets Anthony Mackie to star as the main actor. I don't know why it didn't finish the title. Anyways, Anthony Mackie. Yes, I said Mackie. I can't say.
Come on.
I can't say again.
Oh my
Lord. You may know him as the new Captain America. Hopefully that sticks. He will be played as the character John Doe. I don't really remember too much of
there was
Twisted
no
Metal.
fucking John Doe in the game.
Okay,
exactly.
there wasn't. Okay, cool.
If it's not a clown with flames coming out of his head and a guy that's strapped to a giant wheel, then I don't remember anything about Twisted Metal.
Axel, I remember his name because I'm just like, what the hell?
I played every single game in the series. They need to bring this shit back.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Those were words I wasn't gonna say.
Yeah, Twisted Metal 3 was trash. Twisted Metal 2 and maybe Twisted Metal Black was like the peak.
Yeah,
Everything's better with
I know
Black.
Twisted Metal 2. Like I played Twisted Metal 2. And I know that was like everyone loved that game at the time. Yeah, my thing was like I still remember the ending of Dollface, where it's just like, so she was held down and the doll mask
Yee.
was put into her face and nails were driven into her face. I was like, I
That's
don't think
dark.
I need this on my Saturday morning. Like, I'm gonna go back to Tekken. Like, this is no.
I don't understand.
Where the father throws his son off of a cliff. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Because
He had
Leo
to
was a strong
learn.
boy.
He had to learn.
London, be careful.
Oh no,
Blink twice if you're in trouble.
London already done punched that man in the face. She ready,
Exactly.
but
And I
no,
didn't throw her off a mountain. I was like, what the hell?
I just don't understand what this who this is for and what
People
this
like
is gonna be, because I mean, as far as I can tell, this show is gonna be The Purge with cars.
Or Mad Max, essentially.
The
Sweet
Purge
Tooth.
does numbers though, so I mean,
The
Mad Max did
Purge-
numbers. What are you
The
gonna do?
Purge,
That's
the
true.
Purge
That's true.
did numbers because they had a television show and it got canceled. So I don't know if
The
The
strength
Purge
of the
does.
Purge was that it was a low budget. It was a low budget horror movie with a interesting premise.
Also, the strength of The Purge was it happened before COVID, and then
And before Donald Trump.
Yep. So that took the
Yeah.
wind out of The Purge's sails because it was a little too close to life.
We can't do this anymore.
But
People taking this real serious.
that being said, shout out to Anthony Mackie. Get your money, black man.
Yeah. This is one of those weird things where, as Marcus was saying, who was asking for this out of all of the PlayStation properties that died off? Why is this? I would even prefer a Jack and Daxter like 3D cartoon thing where they're just like living their lives and just doing fun stuff and you just have like the banter back and forth.
If Ratchet and Clank could get it, then might as well.
Like people are clamoring for a Jack and Daxter game. They could have made a TV show. Boom. But who was clamoring for a Twisted Metal TV show? Like
Sean.
Bring back Gex.
Yes,
my God.
I will even take.
That's
Wait.
not even
Doesn't he work
PlayStation.
for Geico?
I was gonna say the same thing. That man is gainfully employed.
Anyway.
Yeah. So last up we have this thing comes from The Verge. Nintendo finally adds Bluetooth audio in Switch in a new software update. You might be thinking
asterisk on the internet. Go ahead, DJ.
Oh, wait, what's that? Oh, what's the asterisk?
No, keep reading. I'm wondering if you're gonna hit it. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that this is a software update, meaning that the Switch had the capability of this the entire time.
I say asterisk because there is no voice chat. You can only listen.
Some games there is inbuilt voice chat.
That wasn't for the Bluetooth audio, is what I'm saying though.
You can only listen to the.
Yes, you cannot.
Yeah, the asterisk is that you still have to use, for most of the Nintendo, specifically Nintendo games, you still have to use their app as a voice chat through. But now you can put headphones on and listen to your things. That's cool.
All I gotta say is that when when Nickelodeon All Stars Brawl comes out and that game topples the domination of Smash Brothers, that's gonna be it. That's it.
You got that EU copium right now, my man.
I mean, like, they have wave dashing. There's wave dashing in the Nickelodeon All Stars Brawl.
It's gonna be on all the systems though, DJ. So it's fine.
You just wait till Nickelodeon All Stars gets a bunch of sword characters, and then you won't be so chipper.
Well, Marcus, you should be excited because you can play as Aang. Aang.
I mean, I really only like Aang because you don't. So,
well, I should also be delighted because I get to play as Korra.
Okay.
Korra.
I'm happy for you.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
They got Cat Dog, nigga. That's why I'm excited.
Hey, Cat Dog actually looks like a viable piece of thing versus the cartoon, which is trash. So, now let's jump into our heavy hitters. I said it.
Marcus,
I said it.
don't worry. DJ is full of his asinine opinions. He's just full of them.
I would always watch Cat Dog and be like,
is
God
lu-
damn, I wish
The man
like
is
something
lucky
else was.
he's tall and handsome.
Right? Jesus Christ. If you weren't pretty.
That's subjective.
Shut up, Sean.
It's actually makeup.
Sean just said no homo without saying it.
Drop him in Alabama. We'll see how he works out.
You don't
Oh,
look like
man.
my sister or my brother.
We may also have to bleep that out.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just cut that out.
We don't have any listeners in Alabama.
No, we don't.
And we won't after that.
Alabama can
Just,
catch all these strays.
Go ahead, just catch that. Yeah.
Anyway, moving on.
Alabama. I think I nailed that spelling. Okay, so with that being said, now we can jump into our heavy hitter, which is talking about Sony saying God of War Ragnarok will wrap up its North story in 2022. And this comes from Kotaku. So this is interesting because there was never God of War Ragnarok, the title was guessed by just the title art from the first time they showed Ragnarok, but it was never confirmed that was a title. And people also just assumed that this was going to be a trilogy. I'm not sure if it was ever stated that this God of War was going to be a trilogy.
It's never stated.
They
just assume because every game that comes out is a trilogy.
Exactly.
Right.
The predecessor was a trilogy. So
right.
Yeah.
So so what's Cory Barlog? There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, he came out and said that doing a trilogy is often long, and he thought that I shouldn't say he because another person's directing this game.
But then in his quote he was like the reboot
took 5 years to make.
Like 5 years to make, and then about the same amount of time to make this one. So spending 15 years on this trilogy might be a bit overkill.
Oof.
And compare it to the original God of War trilogy, it was like
where they were cranking those games out.
First game came out, 2 years later, game 2 came out, and I think 3 years later, game 3 came out.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And then what were the spin-offs coming out? Because they had little
PSP games.
PSP joints.
Yes.
Granted, they're smaller, they take less time, but still, they were just boop, 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 spitting them out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's still time, though. So, essentially, God of War Ragnarok will wrap up this mythology. And, there's always a potential of Kratos jumping to a new timeline. Or, not a new timeline, a new mythology.
Yeah. Which, I mean, at this point, I'd be interested to see them do that. Just Kratos going on a world tour of smacking up your favorite gods, smoking on your top fives. But at the same time, they never even explained how we got to Norse mythology. So,
right.
I mean, he just sailed up the Nile and took a left at the Atlantic. I mean, all of this shit is just geographical mythology. I mean,
that's true.
My nigga just
but I didn't
row his boat.
I didn't realize that until because before he was so centralized.
Oh, it's one of those things where God of War 3 ends with the end of the world.
Right.
But from the perspective of God of War 2019, it's 2019 or 2018?
2018. No matter. Go ahead.
2018. It's the Greek world ended.
Right.
Everything else stayed the same, which is very much a very Marvel Comics variant of how various pantheons exist in. And that, they all exist. They all have the same domain, but the domain is pretty much based upon the people who worship and
I can't wait to see Samurai Kratos.
I feel like the next move.
What about
might
American
be-
hero Kratos? Is he
He
going to
fights,
storm the Capitol?
He fights Jesus.
and it depends on when he when he lands in America. Like, it might not go the way he thinks.
Especially
He's
because
still
he's a
he's still
powerful
black
black man.
Yeah.
Get that ash off your face,
like,
nigga. I see you.
Right? It's like
You there, boy.
A powerful
What?
black man with a Snow White child.
I'm the one that says, boy.
Two Snow White children.
He
Kratos'
gonna land him.
memes are mad weak, apparently.
They're gonna call
Yeah.
him boy, and the Trace is gonna be like, "Dad, did he call you boy?"
Yes,
Settle down,
I have
boy.
to answer that out here.
my
Anyway,
gosh.
the sub story, real quick.
Yeah, so this was I put this on here because it was more annoying than anything because people want to keep their white mythologies pure. So what happened is God of War Ragnarok's narrate
1488, man. Bad.
Story trailer.
Yeah, so yeah, in the story trailer they showed at the PlayStation Showcase, they showed what's her how you spell it? How you pronounce her name? Someone
Agorabota.
Avery.
AGRABODA. AGRABODA.
AGRABODA.
Boda.
Okay. They showed AGRABODA.
Mhm.
AGRABODA? Boda?
Yep.
Okay.
You said it right.
And she ended up being a black lady, and she is supposed to play the love interest to Atreus. And people were just like, "Why is there a black woman in Norse mythology? That don't make no
you
sense."
know that black people weren't invented until the days?
And they totally missed the fact that this Greek monster god killing person named Kratos is also in
Also
the Norse
black.
mythologies, and they didn't have a
Wait,
problem.
this is a conversation that we actually kind of have because I just this is going over my head. If you guys have said it, Kratos is black. When was this thing?
So Kratos is a
Nah,
person
you
of color.
fucking with us, right?
No, I'm not. I've
No,
always assumed that Kratos was a white man. with
No,
just
so
a
in
black
the
voice actor.
no, so in the
No.
first God of War, is it Ares?
I understand.
God
I
of-
understand that he's covered in the ashes of his of his family,
Yeah.
but that never made that as far as I'm aware of, he was not a black man.
I want to say. Let me do some,
'Cause, like
let me do
I've seen him without the ashes, and he has a darker skin complexion, but he's not he's not necessarily a black man. He's got the same complexion as Jason Mantzoukas.
I always call him a person of color
That makes more
because
sense.
he's darker skin.
He's
I mean,
black
because there are darker skinned Greek men. Like I'm going to keep bringing up Jason Mantzoukas, who I thought was Middle Eastern until he pointed out, no, I'm just super Greek. I'm like, oh, there are skin differentials between ethnic groups of white people. I just have never assumed that Kratos was a black man. I just thought that you guys were taking a very pro-black stance on everything situation and just kept saying it. And then DJ,
it's very fun to identify Kratos as a strong black single father. but no, Kratos, it's debatable. But I will say that this type of argument is always extremely funny to me because it's always people saying that, oh no, this region of the world wouldn't have black people, while there's a fucking world serpent that's flying around in the background. It's just like, bro, none of this
That
is
actually
supposed
happened.
none of this is supposed to make any sense. Nigga, there's a mermaid over there. Just shut up.
Yeah, it is always crazy to see people get up and angry when black people enter the conversation.
there,
Go ahead.
this is, it's not worth it.
Also, and it's also to be noted that in the mythology of AGRABODA, she's never actually given I believe, a skin color.
Nope.
She's never described in terms of what she looks like or something like
It's
that.
just
She's a narrative afterthought to Loki shenanigans.
Mm-hmm. And
There we go.
you just can go off of artistic renderings. That's why so many people think Jesus is white.
Mm-hmm. 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 Accurate.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see what happens in Ragnarok. I'm very interested to see how they wrap this all up, because I was also in the camp that, oh, this is going to be a trilogy and we're going
I
to
thought
get
so too. Yeah.
we're going to get a game that kind of, further fleshes out Atreus, aka Loki, and then the third game would be either, midway through there is that whole the part of the destiny where he's supposed to kill Kratos, or Kratos supposed to
Yeah,
die
like
in some
that's
way.
what. Now, that's not to say that it can't happen in this game,
Oh,
but
absolutely.
I was definitely thinking we were building up to a very sad third game where
Yeah.
you pit son against father, and I would have been devastated. But no, I mean
We're gonna get it now.
you don't name your you don't put Ragnarok in your title if you're not scorching the earth. So
Yeah.
I have absolute faith, though, because the last game was fantastic. As far as I'm
Absolutely.
concerned, the best thing that God of War has ever done. And
Yes.
if they can continue that momentum, which it seems like they will, and they've expanded upon I don't know if there's NPCs, but there actually feels like there's some
There's NPCs.
form of
Yeah.
So like it feels like they've taken what was great about the first one, the Last of Us approach, if you will, and brought more scale to it. And so yeah, I'm all here for this. And I also love the fact that you're going to be teaming up with a God of War of another mythology. I think that that's also really cool.
Yeah, that was super exciting to see in the trailer. Yeah, we're gonna go talk to this other God of War and see if they can do a little quick
Tyr
fusion dance or
is
something.
a big boy.
Yeah. So with that being said, the only thing I want to give a shout out to physical fit peak Thor. My man is strong. People are just like, oh, he has a dad bod. It's like, no. He gonna crush you with his hand.
In what world does Kratos have a dad bod?
No, Thor.
He's talking about
Oh, Thor. Sorry.
Yeah,
Hey, look. That's
Plump
practical
Thor.
strength. That's practical
Exactly.
strength right there.
Yeah,
Thor with
I think,
2 O's.
Some actual strongman commented and said,
That's what I
the
was gonna say. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
if you look at strongman competitions, none of those niggas are ripped. Like
Right.
they are barrel chested. They've got like a really hard belly. Like if you were to punch their belly, you would think that it would be blubber, but no, that's a freaking keg.
Pretty much.
an intergalactic kegger.
Thick Thor.
With that being said, thick with 2 O's. That's my new thing. All right. With that being said, I think we can wrap this pony.
I have one statement to say.
Okay.
I have talked a lot of shit about EMEA. I've called you guys a third tier region in esports, that you should retire and that all your Valorant teams suck. I want to say that I stand by that statement. You guys play the worst agents. Brimstone and Breach are not agents you should be playing. I will say Russia and CIS, now those guys play some good Valorant. The rest of the region is dog shit. NA number 2. I'm out.
And that has been our episode of Press X Start Podcast. We hope you enjoyed this episode as much as we enjoy making it. Don't forget to rate and reviews on your favorite podcasting apps. Like and subscribe on your favorite YouTube channel. That's ours. And if you're feeling ever so inclined, make sure you ask us a question at pressx2start.com/questions with an S. Until next time.
I sure hope that we have Valorant players that listen to this podcast, or else Avery just clouds.
What I find ultimately funny with what I just said, there's absolutely no context unless someone can correlate the fact that we just recorded this at the exact same time as the VCT finals in Berlin, and I'm fucking molding here watching Gambit Esports put up the Russian flag and they win all of Berlin.
Hey, I'm gonna do some SEO research and see if Valorant is big on YouTube. I'm pretty sure it is. So
100K views on Twitch right now. So
Okay, yeah. I'll get some keywords in there that's Valorant themed or focused, like Valorant the game, Valorant gameplay,
Well, all
Valorant
right.
reaction. All right. Yeah. So you be good. You be safe. You wash your hands. You say hi to your mom for me, and take care.
Uno out.